What is the most influential modern book on marketing? It's Byron Sharp's How Brands Grow. This is a game-changing book and completely blew my mind when I first read it, making me realize how many marketing myths I believe and how many mistakes I'd made guiding clients in the past. In this video, I'm going to share some of the book's key findings and help you avoid making the same mistakes I did. Published in 2010, How Brands Grow is based on a wide range of academic research from the Ehrenberg Bass Institute. This little red book has become a mandatory read for all marketers and people working in advertising. In the Strategy Finishing School, we've got a full module built out on advertising effectiveness and the learnings in this book. However, I'm going to try and summarize it all in under 10 minutes for you. Let's start with the title of the book, How Do Brands Grow? Sharp suggests there really is two levers marketers can pull to grow their business. The first is increasing physical availability. This is one we in advertising often completely overlook. If you're a chocolate brand, the fastest way to grow might be to increase the number of shelves you have at the supermarket. If you're selling beer, get into more pubs. If you're McDonald's, open another store. Making your brand easy to find and easy to buy should be a key focus in any marketing plan. Coca-Cola famously said they wanted to have Coca-Cola within arm's reach of every person on earth. And you might argue their huge success is largely due to their incredible distribution. The second way brands grow is by increasing mental availability. It means having your brand come to mind more often when consumers are looking to buy. When your brand is attached to a category entry point, also known as a consumer need, you seem like the safe option, and consumers are more likely to pick you over someone who doesn't come to mind as much. To deliver this mental availability, we have to explore another concept Sharp has made very famous, the Double Jeopardy Law. To explain, let's look at a few key findings from his research. The first is that brands have many light buyers and very few heavy buyers. Let's look at this example of Coca-Cola's purchases in the UK. On the right, we can see that yes, there are a handful of people who buy more than 10 bottles a year, but there are far more people who only buy once a year or twice a year. In fact, the most number of times someone buys a Coke per year is 0. Therefore, if you want to grow your brand, the biggest opportunity is to get your light buyers who buy 0 or maybe once a year to buy one more time. This is significantly more upshot than focusing on heavy buyers because there are so few of them in comparison. And the trend in this chart is not just for Coca-Cola in the UK. Sharp replicated similar findings for Pepsi in the UK, then for Coke in the US, then for other fast-moving consumer goods brands, then for other categories, then for other markets. Whether you're selling cars or luxury handbags or washing machines, most of your buyers are very light buyers. Another key finding was that consumers are rarely loyal to one brand. We tend to flirt around a lot, and most people have a repertoire of brands that they're happy to pick from. Lastly, this is the big one. Sharp demonstrated that if you want to grow your brand, you should focus on acquiring new customers rather than loyalty from your existing ones. Let's use this example of toothpaste purchases in the UK. But again, Sharp found similar patterns across all categories and markets. Here we have a range of brands ranked from highest market share to lowest. Sharp then looked at two key metrics: the brand's penetration, how often it was bought over a 12-month period, and the average number of times a customer purchased the brand each year, which is another way of just saying loyalty. As you can see, there's a correlation between the two variables, but it only works one way. When you increase your penetration, which means acquiring new customers, you also increase your loyalty. But the opposite is not true. When you grow loyalty, your penetration does not increase. Loyalty is a side effect of penetration. This is the Double Jeopardy Law. The more customers you acquire, the more loyalty you naturally build. Therefore, one of the biggest implications of how brands grow is that marketers should spend little time focusing on loyalty. Instead, grow the number of people who buy your brand, and the loyalty will come as a symptom. Loyalty is a bit like gravity. It exists, it's just very hard to influence unless you're a planet or brand gets bigger. So a critical part of a marketer's strategy should be trying to increase your number of buyers, which means reaching as many potential buyers as possible. Don't aim for niches and don't aim for heavy buyers. Go big and go for everyone. Sharp suggests the value of targeting has been exaggerated and is a big advocate for channels which deliver reach cost efficiently. No matter the size of your budget, Sharp's advice would be to reach as many people as you can afford and drive up your mental availability so you're more likely to come to mind next time they need your category. Thanks to Strategy Finishing School member Zach Martin, who contributed to this video. And to learn more about the fundamentals of advertising, check out the Strategy Finishing School.